worried. Let's see. Like someone who lives in a war-ravaged environment. If someone is living in a place where there is war, when bullets stop, I have seen it before. I have been in Kaduna many times when there are wars. You see, when you stop hearing bullets, everybody will keep quiet. That's listening. It's not an ordinary listening. That is it. So we listen with fear. He said, Rahimahullah, وَهُوَ هُنَا اجْتِمَاعُ حَذَرٍ وَإِشْفَاقٍ. It is a listening of caution, concern, وَخَشْيَةِ الْفَجْعَةِ وَالْبَغْتَةِ, and a fear that comes in the mind. That you are not just listening, you are afraid. What are you afraid of? Al-Baghta. You are afraid of something just happening suddenly or abruptly. You are afraid. Everybody listens. The Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all the creatures of Allah do like this on Friday because they are expecting the day of Qiyamah. When is that expectation? He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, min heen tusbihu hatta tatlu ash-shams. Min heen tusbihu. Where is that brother? I saw him outside. He's making his nafila. I think Tahiyyatul Masjid. This question is important. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, min heen tusbihu. From the time that morning breaks, when the animal, the daba, wakes up in the morning, at the time of Fajr, he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hatta tatlu ash-shams, until sunrise. When is it the time that they make the salah? Min heen tusbihu hatta tatlu ash-shams, from dawn to sunrise, from the time of Fajr to sunrise. When the sun rises, they say, oh, the day has gone. So when is the period of that day we are talking about? From the time of Fajr to the time of Duha. From dawn, the time of Fajr, to when? To Shams, the time that the sun begins to rise. He says they do this, alayhi salatu wasalam, shafaqan min as-sa'a. When they do this, because they are afraid that the day, the last hour may be established. Illa al-jinna wal-ins. Our Janua can la care. For us, that's the time for business. But as for the rest of the creatures, we are waking up at market. And it is a good time to do so too on other days. Because Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported from the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam that he prayed that Allahumma barik li ummati fi bukuriha. Allahumma barik li ummati fi bukuriha. Oh Allah, bless my ummah fi bukuriha. In what they do, la rabb. Bless it for them. So ulama places among the issues of al-barakah. If you want Allah to bless what you are doing, Isa Arab Majuma, then you have to bath in the morning, walk to the food, because there's a dua waiting for you. The Prophet had made that dua. But on the day of Jumu'ah, all the rest of the creatures, they are afraid. Shafaqan min as-sa'a, because they are scared, they are concerned that the last hour may be established. Illa al-jinna wal-ins. Our they are the jinn, those who are not scared, who care less. They are the jinn and who? When is that time? Min heen tusbihu hatta tatlu ash-shams. Min heen tusbihu hatta tatlu ash-shams. From the time of Sabah, from the time of dawn, hatta tatlu ash-shams, till the sun will rise. That is the time when everybody is scared, both animals. So from sunrise you can give somebody a pay ujuma. But the issue is there a tahani'ah? Because a tahani'ah is ibadah. Is there a congratulation for that? Is just a nikama kireni? That's written. A tahani'ah to congratulating yourself. In Islam is worship. So in whatever the deen has not told us to worship with tahni'ah, we should not do it. That's why you always find ulama give fatwa. Many of our brothers, in the morning of Friday, they are sending us Jumu'ah Mubarak, Jumu'ah Mubarak. Nobody sends you that. It's an innovation. That's tahni'ah you are giving. Ma anzalallahu biha. If it were necessary, the one who told us that other animals are dead, should he not have told us that? So you people should be congratulating yourself. Or you should be saying one azkar. Because some people can go on now. Say, oh, now me, I want to sit down to be remembering that time. The only thing that is established within that time is Salat al-Duha. And that will be after sunrise. So the time of Duha. And Salat al-Duha is not restricted to Yawm al-Jumu'ah. So you don't have anything to hide on that. So that's between Fajr and Tulu al-Shams on the day of Jumu'ah. There is no special ibadah in it. So no special ibadah. Except that he told us, oh, Salat al-Fajr, after the Salat in Allah, Salat al-Fajr Yawm al-Jumu'ah. Allah likes that Salat. It's the best Salat with Allah. Salat al-Fajr on the day of Jumu'ah. Then you make your azkar. Everything you do on the other days are the same things you do on this day. But the additional knowledge we have is that time, within that time, until Tulu al-Shams, if this world will be ended on that day, it will be on that day. It will be on the Jumu'ah, before Tulu al-Shams, after Abdur-Raūf. After before Tulu al-Shams. May Allah not make us idiot. Because he said, alayhi salatu wa salam, لا تقوم الساعة إلا على شرار الناس. The last hour will not be established except upon who? The worst of human beings. I want to go to bed and Allah will buy him a lara. So may Allah not make us idiot. But you know, inna rabbaka fa'alni ma yurid. All these things we are waiting for can happen within a few short period. The judge can come, everything can happen. So all these other animals we are waiting. Ulama discuss this issue a lot. Shaykh Atiyya Muhammad Salih, in his completion of Ad-Durar Al-Bahiyyah, he said this is evidence that animals know every day. They know Jumu'ah. They know the time of Subh. They know the time of Tulu al-Fajr. They know the time of Ghurub al-Shams, Tulu al-Shams. They know all this. Allah makes them to know. He said so they know every day. Ulama said that we have proof that they know this hour on Jumu'ah does not mean they know it on every day. But he is saying that the fact that they know Jumu'ah is evidence that they know other days. See how ulama proof? The fact that they know Jumu'ah means they know other days. Others say no. The fact that Jumu'ah was told us they know, it means the Jumu'ah they know. Because the basic thing is that they don't know anything. We don't know what they know except what Allah tells us that they know. So he said they know Jumu'ah, so we know that they know Jumu'ah. But for other days we don't know. Allah fully, the fact remains that they know the day of Jumu'ah. They know that hour on the day of Jumu'ah. The period between Abdur-Raūf and what? Tulu al-Shams. This is the period when the last hour will be established. May Allah protect all of us. Al-Imām Al-Shawkāni Al-Zarqāni rahimahullah, one of those who made sharh of Muwaṭṭa Imam Malik, he said regarding this hadith, إِذَا طَلَعَتْ, when the sun appears, when the sun rises, إِذَا طَلَعَتْ عَرَفَتْ الجواب أنه ليس ذلك اليوم. إذا طلعت عرفت الجواب أنه ليس ذلك اليوم. When the sun rises, الجواب, the dabba, the body, every moving thing on the earth, they will now know that ليس ذلك اليوم, ليس قيام الساعة ذلك اليوم. That the last hour will not be established on that day. Rahimahullah. He says, فَفِيهِ أَنَّ قِيَامَهَا. That hadith makes us understand that the establishment of the last day, بَيْنَ الصُّبْحِ وَطُلُوعِ الشَّمْسِ, it will happen between the time of Subhi and Tulu'i al-Shams. May Allah protect all of us. That occurs in the shelf of that hadith. I think that suffices regarding that issue. The second thing we like to discuss is Fadlu Yawm al-Jumu'ah. The virtue, Fadlu Salat al-Jumu'ah. The virtue of observing Salat. We have known the big things that Allah has put inside the earth. If you don't forget, apart from the issues connected to Nabi Adam alayhi salam, we mentioned Salat al-Fajr on the day of Jumu'ah. We mentioned al-Iksaru fi Salat wa Salam ala Nabi, making a lot of Salat on Salam al Nabi on the day of Jumu'ah. We also mentioned an hour, a period that Allah has placed on the day of Jumu'ah. When we say anything to Allah, asking Him, He will give us. We will discuss that inshallah after this. We will be extensive a little bit on it. Because the statements of ulama are very limited. We will come back to it. So what is now one of the virtues of Yawm al-Jumu'ah is Salat al-Jumu'ah. One of the big things on Yawm al-Jumu'ah is what? Salat al-Jumu'ah. So what is the virtue of Salat al-Jumu'ah? So as we go through this virtue, we will mention 7 things because they are connected to that virtue. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu said that the Prophet said alayhi salatu wassalam, Man irtafala yawm al-Jum'ah wa massa min tin in kana indahu wa labisa min ahsani thiyabihi ثم خرج حتى يأتي المسجد فركع ما بدا له ولم يؤذي أحدا ثم أنصت حتى يصلي كان كفارة لما بينها وبين الجمعة الأخرى. Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu reported from the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that Man ightasala yawm al-Jum'ah. Man ightasala yawm al-Jum'ah. Whoever observes ghusl on the day of Jum'ah. That is the ritual bath in Islam. We know how the ritual bath is observed. We know how the ritual bath is observed. The ritual bath, the first thing about it is for you to intend that you want to observe the ritual bath. Al-Niyyah. And the second rukun is the Abdur-Raūf, ensuring that water gets to all parts of your body. If you do this, it's totally. Have Niyyah for ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah, and then you pour water on all parts of your body. It suffices. But the reward is less. If you want the full reward, you will make wudu first after your intention for wudu. Oh, Adamiya. Oh, Ashalwala. You will now make wudu. After you intend to make wudu, you will now make wudu. When you start your wudu, start with Bismillah. Mention the name of Allah at the beginning of your wudu. It is compulsory. We discussed that when we discussed with you. So we said Bismillah. We now make wudu after you make wudu. And as we leave the legs, if you like, there's hadith of Aisha You can also wash the leg if you like. There's a hadith of Maymuna, Sunan Abi Dawud. So when you make wudu at the beginning of ghusl, if you like, you can wash that feet at the beginning. If you like, you can leave it to the end of everything before you wash your legs. I'm just reminding us on how to make wudu. So you make wudu like this. Then you start with your head. You soak your head with water. You start running it down from the right side to the left side. Then from the right hand, your shoulder to the left side. And then from the right side of your waist to the left side. From your right leg to the left leg. If you have not washed your feet at the beginning when you made wudu, you can now wash the feet. I hope that is clear. When you do this exercise, you have made wudu. This wudu will come back to it, inshallah. I'm just trying to explain the hadith of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man iktasala yawm al-Jumu'ah. Whoever makes ghusl as we have described it. If it is ghusl janaba, you start with washing the part that is stained. If it is ghusl hayd, you start with washing the part that is also stained. So we start with those two parts. So that is janaba la fairway. More so regarding this hadith on the day of Jumu'ah. Although we'll come back to it later, let's explain this hadith first. Inshallah. It says, Man iktasala yawm al-Jumu'ah. Whoever makes ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah. Wa massa min tibin in kana indahu. Massa min tibin. And he wears some perfume in kana indahu. If he has perfume in kana indahu, he should wear the perfume. We'll come back to it. Man iktasala yawm al-Jumu'ah. Whoever makes ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah. Wa massa min tibin in kana indahu. And then he wears some perfume if he has. Wa labisa min ahsani thiyabi. And then he wears min ahsani thiyabi. This means can be the sabri. One of his best clothes. It can be the sabri. Ba'd ahsani thiyabi. One of his best clothes. And it can be in the bayan. Yani, walabisa ahafana thiyaba. Or ahafana thiyaba. He wears the best clothes. It can mean any of the two. It can mean he is wearing one of the best clothes. And it can mean he is wearing the best clothes. Any of them. And both of them is allowed in this case. It can be the best clothes that you are wearing. We are coming back to it too. Whether you are civil servant, whether you are servant civil, you will hear what the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Because this day is a very important day of the Shema. This salah is very important salah. So he says, Man iktasala yawm al-Jum'ah wa massa min tibin in kana indahu wa labisa min ahsani thiyabi. After wearing his fine clothes, his nice clothes, summa kharaja hatta, after that he comes out, he leaves home, hatta ya'ti al-masjid, until he gets to the masjid. فَرَكَعَ مَا بَدَى لَهُ رَكَعَ مَا بَدَى لَهُ. He makes nawafil as much as he is able to do. As much as he considers appropriate. We are coming back to this. You see who this one for. Don't forget, I said this point, we have 7 things inside this book. We will be discussing this point one by one. Inshallah. So he said, alayhi salatu wa salam, فَرَكَعَ مَا بَدَى لَهُ وَلَمْ يُؤْذِ أَحَدًا. He's in all of it. Till he got to the masjid, he's making nawafil. لَمْ يُؤْذِ أَحَدًا. He did not cause harm to anybody. How do people cause harm to people on the day of Jumu'ah? We will explain it inshallah. Many people cause harm to people. In this masjid where we pray, I know two people. They always come late and they want to pray in front. So you see them from the back. You'll be climbing the heads of people. Internally, oh, boy. And if the Imam sees people doing that, what should he do? For Ishana. Many people do it. Okay, but then you came late to the man. If you take the entire masjid, you should sit wherever the sitting hands. That means those who come and you should come in front. So some people will come late. وَيُبُقُونَ النَّاسِ, and they will be causing harm to the rest of the people. We will discuss it inshallah. It means when you do that, this reward is not for you. Those people climbing the head of the people. Climb well. You are losing the reward for Salat. Oh, Salada Jimanu. We are coming back to that. Some brothers will be hearing telephone calls. It happens here in this masjid. They're receiving telephone calls. You will hear it. All these people, they are wasting their Jumu'ah. May Allah protect all of us. He said, alayhi salatu wa salam, Man istasala yawm al-Jumu'ah wa massa min tibin in kana indam wa labisa min ahsani thiyabihi thumma kharaja hatta ya'ti al-masjid فركع ما بدا له ولم يؤذي أحدا ثم أنصت. He did not cause harm in all his nawafil. Everything he did, he sat down and sat up. He had perfect silence, listening to the khutbah until he observed the salah. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, كان كفارة لما بينها وبين الجمعة الأخرى. Any person who does like this Salat al-Jum'ah will be for him what? كفارة لما بينها. Kafara, atonement of sins. It will cancel your sins. Allah will use it to cancel all your sins. Between when and when? بينها, between that day of Jumu'ah. وَالْجُمْعَةِ الْأُخْرَى, and the last Jumu'ah. Between that Jumu'ah and the last Jumu'ah. And in Sahih Muslim there is a ziyada that says وَفَضْلُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ وَفَضْلُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ. In some riwayat it says وَزِيَادَةُ ثَلَاثَةِ أَيَّامٍ, and additional 3 days. Allah will forgive you. Gbogbo jima to sajá ẹ̀. This is the jimoh. Gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rẹ̀ Ọlọ́run bó forí subhanahu. Àtijọ́ kẹta mi and 3 other days. If you do this. The first condition is what? Man iktasala yawm al-Jum'ah. Iktisal yawm al-Jum'ah. The second is what? Must see. The third one is what? Look to as-siyad al-jami. Ulama refer to as that as tajammul. The fourth one is what? Al-Khuruj ila-al-Masjid. And then what? As-Salah, Nawafil. And then what? Adamu Iza'ina, not causing harm to the people. And then what? As-Sukut was done in the book. And then what? Salah itself. So let's take these issues one after the other, inshallah. The first issue is al-iktisalu yawm al-Jumu'ah, observing ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah. We have told us what ghusl is and how it should be performed. In fact, in one report of this hadith, He says, Man ghassala waqtasala. Man ghassala waqtasala. Whoever makes his wife to make ghusl, and then he makes ghusl too. The ulama say from the perfection of this ghusl is to make your family make ghusl too. How do we make our families make ghusl? How does a man make his wife to make ghusl? After doing that, she will make ghusl. He will make ghusl. So if you want to perfect it, make her make ghusl, then you make ghusl. Make her make ghusl and you make ghusl. You know how to make her make ghusl? So make her make ghusl and you make ghusl. So ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah is very, very important. In some reports, he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, إِذَا أَتَى أَحَدُكُمُ الْجُمْعَةَ فَلْيَغْتَسِلْ. When any of you comes for Salatul Jumu'ah, let him therefore make what? Ghusl. Observing the ghusl is very important on the day of Jumu'ah. You wear Jima. When we were younger than this, I've been hearing you wear Jima. But in Tama, but you wear Jima is ghusl, ritual fast. It's not just not just about that. If the person observes his normal daily bath, use soap, use sponge, use everything. If he does not observe that ghusl as we explained it, he has not observed yawm al-Jumu'ah. He has not observed the ghusl that is required of him. So let us try to make this ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah on the days of Jumu'ah. That hadith is إِذَا أَتَى أَحَدُكُمُ الْجُمْعَةَ فَلْيَغْتَسِلْ أَقْوَالُ الْبُخَارِي وَمُسْلِمٍ. In yet another hadith it says alayhi salatu wasalam, مَنِ اغْتَسَلَ يَوْمَ الْجُمْعَةِ كَانَ فِي طَهَارَةٍ إِلَى الْجُمْعَةِ الْأُخْرَى. Whoever makes ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah, he will be in purity till the next Jumu'ah. Allah will keep him purified till the next Jumu'ah. He will remain a person of purity till the next Jumu'ah. So let us try to observe ghusl. Ulama divided between ghusl wajib or not. Some say it is not wajib because of a hadith in Sahih Muslim that if a person observes wudu, it suffices. Ulama say that is regarding a person who had made ghusl in the morning. If he now was coming for Salatul Jumu'ah and then he makes wudu, salama. Otherwise, he must make ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah. There's also the kiswa of the story between Omar and Uthman. But the correct thing, inshallah, is that ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah or ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah is compulsory. Wajib. Wajib. He says, alayhi salatu, إِذَا أَتَى أَحَدُكُمُ الْجُمْعَةَ فَلْيَغْتَسِلْ. This is a command from the Prophet Muhammad. And the basic rule about his commands is that they indicate obligation. That's why those other people will say, oh, that other narration is soft for it. That is, if we remove that obligation and place it in the ruling of an encouraged act. Ulama say that something is mentioned to be encouraged does not mean that it cannot be an obligation. One of those who was very expensive regarding this matter was Al-Imām Ash-Shawkāni, and then Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah in his book Al-Ajwibatu Nafi'atu. Very good book. I wanted to bring my copy, I forgot. Al-Ajwibatu Nafi'atu an As'ilati Lajnati Masjid al-Jami'. From people in Masjid al-Jami', the central huge masjid in Dimashq. They wrote him a letter asking him 5 questions regarding Salatul Jumu'ah. So he wrote a book. His answer, he converted it to a book. Rahimahullah, Shaykh Al-Albani. Very good on issues on Salatul Jumu'ah. If you read it, inshallah, you see further discussions on the fact that ghusl yawm al-Jumu'ah is compulsory. He cited others among the ulama who had cited an obligation. That hadith we read when اغتسل يوم الجمعة كان في طهارة إلى الجمعة الأخرى was collected by the Imam Al-Tabrani in Al-Mu'jam Al-Awsat. Likewise, Al-Imām Ibn Khuzaymah mentioned this investigation. I think that's the practice of Ghusl Yawm al-Jumu'ah. Kama we jima. Start masuma we jima. We know the meaning of having our bath on the day. It's not the way only we can go where imara now. But don't just make it ghusl of kenke and sponge and soap and water. The second thing we like to discuss about this issue is not to see wearing perfume. And the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in kana indahu tubani ikiha aw min zuhuni zawjatihi, or he should go and borrow from the oil, ikara, that his wife uses. If you don't have, go and borrow from your wife. Otherwise, if a man does not have duhun, some men do that in Yoruba land. It's everywhere in Hausa land system. They don't rub for me. And it's good to rub for me. And the best thing to rub is zaitun. Do we know that? Because not so alayhi Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the fear that is for them. Al-Imām At-Tirmidhi in Ash-Shamā'il, he mentioned a hadith from the Prophet Muhammad, where he says, Kulu zayt. This zaytun, use it to cook your food. وَجَّعِنُوا بِهَا كَانْتِمَا تِكْبَرَةً فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ مُبَارَكَةٍ. Because it has come from a blessed tree. Zaytun. فإنها من شجرة مباركة. زيتون داري عندي الله يبارك له. Allah mentions it in the Quran. والتين والزيتون. ما في زيتون برا. ما في زيتون برا. سنة. طبعا إذا هي برا. وأبغى سنة. You heard now that it's good. So use zaytun. Rub with zaytun. I know this zaytun. I tell you, I want to cover my hair a little bit so that the hair is soft, so that don't disturb yourself. Rub zaytun on your hair, it will be soft. Zaytun, women, be rubbing it on your hair. You don't need to palm your hair. No, zaytun. Tell your husband to buy the can. No, the para. فإنها من شجرة مباركة. Not just that. Use it to cook. Pigeon, fry your eggs with it. Cook with zaytun. You know what they will say? Obeno maru dina. Dina la lubarika. So if instead of Komaru Bina, Komaru Bina, Talal Barika, which one do you like? They say the zaytun will be smelling Kamar somehow. So they are Barka. With Al-Barka, with Barakat. Which one do you like? Kumar Papa and Kumani Al-Barka. You zaytun. So Kulu zayt, eat with zayt. I know one thing. I like it with yam, boiled yam and zaytun. You like it. You like it. Boiled yam and zaytun. Especially that yam is a new yam. They say yes. So if you don't have zaytun before, you will have it now. So you use it. If you don't use it on other days, because you want to get the reward of Jumu'ah, is zaytun para. Use zaytun. If you add coconut oil to it, it's very nice. Idea, Odapo. If there is no one barricade, Adias Mawara to say Jolo. To add the two together. Then may Allah protect Allah. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu took it so important that Al-Hafiz ibn Hajar mentioned in Fath al-Bari and Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu أنه كان يوجب الطيب يوم الجمعة. Abu Hurairah used to make it compulsory that Ugbado lo perfume, Ugbado lo. What is perfume in Yoruba? Nothing that. You have to use perfume on the day of Jumu'ah. Use perfume. I don't think we should have any brother Salafi Ahlul Sunnah who does not have perfume. Let's not hear that there's any of us who does not have perfume. Because it is from the major things upon which the Prophet was. I want to get to my shit. The things he does to himself. You want to my shit, you do it too. So, go and look for perfume. It is from the sunan of the day of Jumu'ah. The third thing we like to discuss, look to after the siyam, wearing the best of clothes. We mentioned that hadith shows two meanings. One of the best or the best. So you can wear the best of your clothes. Otherwise, let Jabu enjoy Jumu'ah today is Jumu'ah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Ma ala ahadikum, ma alayh, la ba'sa alayh, ma ala ahadikum. There is no blame on any of you. La wishtara sawbayn, if he buys two clothes. Liyawm al-Jumu'ah, look in Tawri Jumu'ah. There is no blame on any of you if he buys two clothes because of the day of Jumu'ah. Siwa sawbi muhlati, apart from Abdur-Raūf, different from the clothes you wear to the office. La alayh, he has no blame. La wishtara sawbayn liyawm al-Jumu'ah, if he buys two clothes because of the day of Jumu'ah. Siwa sawbi muhlati, apart from the clothes that he wears to the office, he wears to Lautech. He goes to office wearing clothes. Take two special days to know the office. What are they for? Salah to the Jumu'ah. As for a Jumu'ah the day. We grew up like that. Our parents used to say, don't touch that one after Jumu'ah. I hope we had that experience. If you have clothes you want to use, you say, no, don't touch that. That one is for Jumu'ah. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Siwa sawbi. Siwa sawbi muhlati. Apart from the clothes you wear to office, there's no blame if you buy two. And that is wrong. Is encouraging us. At least two. If I have 3 cups, if I have 4 cups, 2, so you wear one this Friday, next Jumu'ah you wear another one, next Jumu'ah you wear another. It will make the cloth. If I have 5, if I have 10. Nil Jumu'ah, Siwa sawbi muhlati. Apart from your day-to-day clothes, HOS, apart from those ones you wear, you can have a special shirt, special trouser, if it's shirt and trouser you like. Even though shirt and trouser causes trouble on the day of Jumu'ah. If you want to buy clothes for Jumu'ah, don't buy shirt and trouser. Buy a cloth that you can sew it. It can come down below your waist, so that it cover your waist. When you make ruku, it will not be tight on you. But when you wear shirt and trouser, fine shirt, fine trouser, and then you talk in, make fine boys to the masjid. Once you make ruku like this, you'll be saying that, and it is wrong. It's wrong. It can even spoil your salah if it has not already spoiled you. So So the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, مَا عَلَىٰ أَحَدِكُمْ لَوْ اشْتَرَىٰ ثَوْبَيْنِ. There is no blame on any of you if he buys two clothes. لِيَوْمِ الْجُمَعَةِ. For Jumu'ah, siwa thawbin, apart from the clothes that he wears to the office, apart from his day-to-day clothes. This hadith occurs in Sunan Abi Dawud. It also occurs in Sunan Ibn Majah. This fourth issue, قصد الخروج للمسجد, intending to go out specifically to the masjid. So it means this sunan we are talking about, we should do it when we are going to the masjid. That is the reason why a better thing to do is to leave work home first. And many brothers have cars now. If it is difficult for you to go home, you can prepare your Jumu'ah clothes, Jumu'ah wearing, you can prepare it inside one place. And you have a friend near the masjid. My friend is near the masjid. You can park there, have your good, dress up for Jumu'ah. When someone says, about anything here, this is Jumu'ah now. Going for Jumu'ah. Going for Jumu'ah. Going for Jumu'ah. Special salah on a special day. So this is special. So a better thing to do is to do all these things while when you are going out for Salatul Jumu'ah. So the individual should intend to go out. Don't forget adhkar of going out. Don't forget the adhkar you say when you go to a masjid. The ulama say, وَيَكُونُ ذَلِكَ مُبَكِّرًا. Let your going out also be early in the morning. If not early in the morning, at the early time of Jumu'ah. Go out for Jumu'ah early. Al-Imām al-Nīsabūrī was cited by Shaykh Abdur-Raūf Muhammad Salim in his completion of Ad-Durar Al-Bahiyyah that the Salaf, the early Muslims used to say, one of the early innovations in the religion is that people stop going for Jumu'ah early. And many of us, that's what we will be struggling to meet Jumu'ah. Not going to be by. Nah, Salaf, don't do that. Don't do that. Go to the Jumu'ah early. Some people are not going to the Jumu'ah early because they are browsing on Facebook. They are messaging on WhatsApp. Putra, drop all those things. Go to the Jumu'ah. It's a law Jumu'ah. So that you don't lose the reward for Jumu'ah. There are a lot of ahadith. There is a report of Salman al-Farisi. There is a hadith of Abu Hurairah. There is a hadith of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. There is a hadith of Zubaysh al-Hudri. There is a hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar, all encouraging us to go to the masjid early. Early. And in other narrations, the Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, those who come to the masjid earliest, what have they sacrificed? The reward of what? A camel. Those who follow them have the reward of what? A cow. Those who follow them have the reward of what? A sheep or a ram. Kabsh, a ram. Those who follow them have what reward? The reward of sacrificing a bird or a fowl. The two of them occur in reports. There's report of faith, there's report of Dajjal. It's not a mistake. Those who come after them have the reward of what? An egg. So you can imagine, someone makes sacrifice to Allah with a camel every Jumu'ah. And the one makes sacrifice with an egg. That is what he does every Jumu'ah. Are they the same? They can go as they say. So you don't be the one who is sacrificing eggs if you have to sacrifice something. For some people, they have not been sacrificing anything because they have been coming late. May Allah protect us. They have been throwing away his rewards. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that on the day of Jumu'ah, Allah appoints angels who stand on the doors of the masjid. Ulama say that happens from the Fajr of the day of Jumu'ah. From the Fajr of the day of Jumu'ah, the angels go to the doors. So at the time of Duha, you've been in the masjid for Jumu'ah since the time of Duha, you'll be recorded. Al-Awwal fal-Awwal. First come, first serve, they are recording it. And he said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when the Imam appears and then sits down, within this time, those angels too come into the masjid and they sit down. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, تَمْرُدُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَلَا أَبْوَابِ الْمَسَاجِدِ. The angels will sit on the doors of the masjid. يَمْسُهُونَ. They will be taking records. In another report, it said the pen they will use is from Nur. The record in which they are writing it is also from Nur. يَمْسُهُونَ الْأَوَّلَ وَالثَّانِي وَالثَّالِثِ. They will be taking record of the first person who came, the second person who came, the third person who came. Hatta, the situation will continue like that. إِذَا خَرَجَ الْإِمَامُ رُفِعَتِ الصُّحُفُ. When the Imam comes out, رُفِعَتِ الصُّحُفُ. The pen, the script, the scroll will be raised. In some riwayat, it's two weeks. It will be closed. And in ziyada by Al-Imām Ibn Majah, this ziyada worries the mind a lot because many of us is following. The Prophet Muhammad said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَمَنْ جَاءَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكِ. Whoever comes after these angels have sat down, فَإِنَّمَا يَجِيبُ بِحَقِّ الصَّلَاةِ. Okay, you. مَنْ جَاءَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكِ. Whoever comes after these angels have sat down, فَإِنَّمَا يَجِيبُ بِحَقِّ الصَّلَاةِ. So all those perfect rewards and all these slaughtering, sacrifice, he has missed it. مَنْ جَاءَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكِ. Whoever comes after that, the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, فَإِنَّمَا يَجِيبُ بِحَقِّ الصَّلَاةِ. He is only coming to perfect the obligation, to fulfill the obligation of Salatul Jumu'ah. Come on back, this ziyada occurs in Sunan Ibn Majah. فَإِنَّمَا يَجِيبُ بِحَقِّ الصَّلَاةِ. May Allah protect us. That is connected to Al-Khuruj ila al-Masjid an yakuna mubakkiran. Should be any time. The fifth issue under that hadith. أن يصلي ما بدا له حتى يفعل الإمام على المنبر. He should observe nawafil. As he deems appropriate till the Imam will come. So somebody can ask, Tawati the Imam that in the Kama says my Nāsir If you spend 1 hour, how many two will you make? Hatta yakhruj al-Imam, till the Imam will come out. You stop. Or you can make and stop, sit down, you're making up sham. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu. Salatu ala nabi. Alayhi salatu wa salam. La ilaha illa anta. Subhanaka inni kuntu min adh-dhalimin. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanallah al-azim. You can be making all these azkar. I heard from one of the students of Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah, and I read in one of his books, one of the Shaykh's books, that once the Shaykh Al-Albani rahimahullah was in the masjid making adhkar on the day of Jumu'ah. Àwọn àfáà máa ń pa lọ́lọ́ ni ìwọ̀n sálá wọ́n. Let the people, the ulama, the people of Sunnah on the day of Jumu'ah in the masjid before Salatul Jumu'ah, oh, palolo. What is palolo in English? You'll be silent, you'll be gentle, you'll be calm. Many times, many of us don't check ourselves. We like to check people. We want to do that to a tajil of people. You didn't do tajil of yourself. Oh, Palala. The Shaykh was silent. One of the scholars, Shaykh Aliyy al-Halabi, approached him to say he has a question. The Shaykh said, هذا وقت الأذكار والصلاة. This is the time for Azkar and Salah. It is not the time for question and answer. Ta'aleem. That is the reason why those people who go into the masajid to say they are doing free khutbah, they are sermonizing people, they are wasting the people's time. Shaykh Muhammad Nāsir Al-Albani, Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih Al-Husaymin, Shaykh Abdur-Raūf ibn Abdullah ibn Baz, and many others. I'm mentioning a few of them. They say that free khutbah is bid'ah. You know what is free khutbah? Somebody comes, he starts talking. Today is Jumu'ah, we are sitting down here, it's good to do one. Who sent you that one? And there is a hadith on it. This hadith occurs in Sunan al-Arba'ah. Abu-Darawūf, An-Nasai, Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah. It is a hadith of Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, radiyallahu anhuma. He said, نهى النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم عن الحلق يوم الجمعة قبل الخطبة. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam forbade doing halqa. We are talking like this is halqa. He forbade it on the day of Jumu'ah before khutbah. Don't do it. Don't do halqa on Jumu'ah before on the Jumu'ah, especially in the Masjid Jumu'ah or Masjid al-Jami, before the Imam comes. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Most times these people will not say like this. They will say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. If you hear somebody say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim before he starts the sermon, he has some bid'ah with him. It's not from the simat of the people of Sunnah. Simat, symbols. From the symbols of Sunnah, you will hear Alhamdulillah in your song. He will not say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. To say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim before giving a lecture, ulama say it is bid'ah. Sheikh Bakr ibn Abdullah Abu Zayd, he mentioned it in his Tafsir al-Dua. Man say A'udhu billah. You say Alhamdulillah. And that's why when the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam sermons were mentioned, you will hear Hamid Allah wa Asna alayhi. He thanked Allah and glorified him. So you thank Allah, Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. That is the sunnah of starting a talk. For majority of the people who will do this sermon before the Imam khutbah on the day of Jumu'ah, you sit down and you say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahman. Nobody sent you all this words you are doing. Nahan Nabiyyu anha. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he forbade it. One of the scholars, Sheikh Musa Al-Nasir, he has died recently. May Allah forgive him. He was in the last Hajj, but he passed away. Last Hajj or the Hajj before. He passed away not too long. May Allah forgive him. He wrote an entire book on this hadith. on the fact that it's an innovation to start to do a khutbah before the Imam comes. So what is the sunnah for us to do? Nafila, 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 surah. That's what the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Salla ma badala. In some riwayat says, Salla ma mujira alayhi. He observed the salawat as is destined for him. He is no longer kada akoki. Nafila la amanya kile maamu toje akiwa kile maamu toje. Anabi kofu wabe sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this hadith is authentic. Before I proceed, you can say something. There's hadith that Abdur-Raūf radiallahu anhu, he used to teach hadith to people on the days of Jumu'ah before Salatul Jumu'ah. He did that on one occasion. Radiallahu anhu. Abdur-Raūf did that. Radiallahu anhu. Ulama give two answers to that. Apart from the fact that he did it on one occasion. They say, take it that he was even doing it every day. Will you take the action of Abu Hurairah to throw away the prohibition? Allah Nabi for being told that. Abu Hurairah mentioned, Abu Hurairah Allah Rashid. Radiallahu anhu. Even though you are just fighting Abu Hurairah because it appears to support what you are saying. Otherwise, you are not a student of Abu Hurairah. Radiallahu anhu. So don't take that practice, or if it was a regular practice of Abu Hurairah, and you throw away a prohibition the Prophet prohibited of sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because Abu Hurairah might not have known that hadith. That hadith was mentioned in this. But Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, when he migrated, he saw people doing it, so he prohibited it. And not every companion heard everything from the Prophet Muhammad. So the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which is that he prohibited giving talks before the khutbah of the Imam should take precedence over the statement or actions of who? Anybody, no matter who it is. May Allah forgive all of us. So the sunnah on the day of Jumu'ah is to do what? Is to make nawafil before the Imam appears. The sixth thing in that hadith, Allah yu'zinna, or Allah yu'ziyanna, let him not cause harm to the people. People cause harm to people in two ways. The first way is to climb on top of their head. See, somebody came late for Salatul Jumu'ah, he started climbing the people to get to the front. Don't do that. You can even ask, how about presidents and governors that people now give space for? Is it allowed to give space for people? Maybe in the front row, before they come, to the space for food. Is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. You can give a space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. For people, all other places people can come. You can do that. What is wrong is to send people away apart from their education. So if you know that governor, president will come and pray there, leave that seat. Don't let the people sit down and start telling them to stand up. That one is an innovation. The Prophet calls those who did that. But leaving a space here, Ulama spoke about that. So, but to start coming from behind and be climbing the head of the people, don't do that. Don't climb the head of the people. The same thing, don't raise your voice, start talking the message. Don't talk in the message. When khutbah is especially. If it is allowed before khutbah, it is actually allowed to say something beneficial. Once the Imam comes, everybody must keep quiet. The only people who can talk are those people the Imam is talking to. Like the Imam says, Mufti. You can talk are those people the Imam is talking to. Like the Imam says, Mufti. On the day of Jumu'ah, stand up or sit down. or come here, or what is it, or start asking you, can do that. There are exceptions to the rule. During the khutbah. But talk, love is not allowed. And love is not allowed. So when you make love, you are making Islam now. Love or a few lampard. Few need to be known. I think can't find it. Just love. We are prohibited from doing that on the day of Jumu'ah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prohibited separating between people. He also prohibited climbing on the heads of people. He also prohibited making love on the day of Jumu'ah. That is the sixth thing in that hadith. There are hadiths, but I chose to leave them. They are clear already. The seventh thing in that hadith is al-insaf. The sixth one is you not cause harm. The seventh one is being silent and calm in the masjid. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا قُلْتَ لِصَاحِبِكَ أَمْسِكْ. If you tell somebody, hey, jacket. You know people do that. Like some of our brothers who bring their children to the masjid. Children who can't control themselves. So the way we stand up, you carry. When you are doing this, you are making what? Allah. You are spoiling the rewards of your Jumu'ah. I encourage people. Don't bring your child to the masjid. If you will have to be telling him to sit down, stand up, this, that, during the khutbah, don't bring him to the masjid. You will spoil your Jumu'ah. And Jumu'ah is not obligatory for him. We are coming back to that. So if you bring someone that Jumu'ah is not obligatory on, to disrupt the rewards of you that Jumu'ah is obligatory upon you, you have not done your muwazana properly. Your fiqhul muwazana, you have not done it well. So let us avoid to bring children or any other thing, including our telephones. The reason a person will make love in the masjid can be his phone. Pressing the phone, pressing it. I want to check WhatsApp message during khutbah. It is from the aspect of Allah. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, إِذَا قُلْتَ لِصَاحِبِكَ يَوْمَ الْجُمْعَةِ وَالْإِمَامُ يَخْطُبُ. If you say to your brother on the day of Jumu'ah while the Imam was giving his khutbah or is giving his khutbah, فَقَدْ لَغَوْتَ. You have made Allah. You have come up with something that is not desirable at all. In another report it says, إِذَا قُلْتَ لِلنَّاسِ أَنْصِتُوا وَهُمْ يَتَكَلَّمُونَ. While the people are talking, you say to them, while they were talking, فَقَدْ أَلْقَيْتَ عَلَى نَفْسِكَ. You will have spoiled it for yourself. What did you spoil? Listen. وَمَنْ لَغَى. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man laga. Whoever comes up with Allah. وَتَخَفِّي رِقَابِ النَّاسِ. And climbing the heads of people. كَانَتْ لَهُ ظُهْرًا. His Jumu'ah will become zuhur for him. So Allah will lead to that. Imam Guriyawi, climbing the shoulders of the people on the day of Jumu'ah, and then making Allah, telling your son, stand up, sit down, climbing, or using your phone, pressing your phone, or doing any of these things that contradict listening to the Imam while the Imam is making khutbah. كَانَتْ لَهُ ظُهْرًا. It will become zuhur for him. What will become zuhur for him? His Salatul. His Salatul Jumu'ah will be in the ruling of Salatul Zuhur for him. So this is a wider explanation of that hadith of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. We read that hadith again. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Man istasala yawm al-Jumu'ah. Whoever makes his ghusl on the day of Jumu'ah, wa massa min tibin in kana indahu. And then he wears perfume if he has. Wa labisa min ahsani thiyabi. And then he wears the best of his clothes. ثُمَّ ثم خرج حتى يأتي المسجد. Then he goes out till he reaches the masjid. فركع ما بدا له. Then he observes what he deems appropriate as nawafil. وَلَمْ يُؤْذِ أَحَدًا. While doing all this, he did not cause harm to anybody. ثُمَّ أَنْصَتَ حَتَّى يُصَلِّ. After that, he remained silent and calm until he observed Salat al-Jumu'ah. كَانَ كَفَّارَةٌ لِمَا بَيْنَهَا وَبَيْنَ الْجُمْعَةِ الْأُخْرَى. That Jumu'ah will be kafara, an atonement of his sin from the previous Jumu'ah to this Jumu'ah today. This is the reward for Salat al-Jumu'ah. But the reward for this Salat al-Jumu'ah is not just alone. It is connected to conditions. If you want to get the reward, you must fulfill those conditions. It's connected to issues. When you break them, you fail. When you do them, you gain. May Allah make us gain. We come for Salat al-Jumu'ah, we'll be calm. We'll have our ghusl. We'll wear fine clothes, the best of clothes. Get ilah. Get ilah. Wear good cap, good clothes. Come for Salat al-Jumu'ah. Wearing that good clothes will be worshipped. Ibadah. Ibadah. Wear fine clothes, good clothes. He even told us to buy clothes for Jumu'ah. Go. Only can for Jumu'ah. Somebody can ask, Abba, this clothes that you buy, what are for Jumu'ah? The clothes for Jumu'ah. So it is important that we take to this. When he comes, he observes his salah, he is silent. كان كفارة له لما بينها وبين الجمعة الأخرى. كان كفارة بكفارة لما بينها وبين الجمعة الأخرى. Between this Jumu'ah and the last Jumu'ah, all your sins, Allah will forgive you. And 3 days extra. 3 days extra. Get forgiveness. May Allah forgive all of us. The third issue we'd like to discuss today is Hukmu Salat al-Jumu'ah. The ruling of Salat al-Jumu'ah. Is Salat al-Jumu'ah equally compulsory on all of us? Children, women, sick person. What is the ruling of Salat al-Jumu'ah on them? A traveling person. Many times when brothers are traveling, they say, I don't want to travel today. Why? Today is Jumu'ah. Who told you not to travel on Jumu'ah? Who told us not to travel on Jumu'ah? But what the Salaf used to say is that Al-Jumu'ah la tamna'u min as-safar. Al-Jumu'ah will not prevent you or should not prevent you from traveling. So we don't like to travel on Jumu'ah. If you have to travel, travel. As a traveling person, what is the ruling of Salat al-Jumu'ah on you? Some brothers want to fight, quarrel. Today is Jumu'ah. What kind of travel are you traveling? Who sent you? What is the ruling of Salat al-Jumu'ah on the traveling person? What about the sick person? What about the child? What about a woman? What is the ruling of Salat al-Jumu'ah for her? I am feeling if we want to discuss this issue, we'll go beyond the time for the class. So we'll leave this, inshallah, we'll start with this in our next class. The ruling of Salatul Jumu'ah for each individual any conquer. Kí ni ìdájọ́ Jímọ̀ fẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan? Ìyàwó ilé. Ṣé gbogbo bá ṣe sọ nípa ọkọ rẹ̀ náà ni ó ṣe jọ́ràn yàn lóun náà lórí ni? What is the ruling on her? Her daughter, her son. What is the ruling on Salatul Jumu'ah? After that, inshallah, we'll discuss what is Salatul Jumu'ah. When is the time for Salatul Jumu'ah? After Jumu'ah, after women. When is the time for Salatul Jumu'ah on the day of Jumu'ah? Then after that, inshallah, we'll discuss Adabul Khutbah. The manners of doing khutbah. Inshallah. These will be the 3 issues we'll look at in the next class. Hukmu Salatul Jumu'ah. And then what? Waqtu Salatul Jumu'ah. And then what? Adabul Khutbah. Inshallah. We'll discuss them in our next. May Allah preserve us till then and thereafter. If we have a few questions. If my ablution becomes vacated when the Imam is making khutbah, what do I do? You go out and make ablution and come back. You go out and make wudu and come back. What should be? But when you come back, you make tahiyyatul masjid again. You make tahiyyatul masjid. Because it says, alayhi salatu, إِذَا دَخَلَ أَحَدُكُمُ الْمَسْجِدِ وَالْإِمَامُ يَخْطُبُ. When any of you comes in the masjid, when the Imam is making khutbah. So if you go out, when you come, and the Imam is making khutbah, فَلْيَسْجُدْ أَوْ فَلْيَرْكَعْ رَكَعَتَيْنِ. Let him make 2 units of prayer. So I hope this point is clear. If you come into the masjid on the day of Jumu'ah when the Imam is making khutbah, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam commanded us to make 2 units of prayer. And that is the hadith of who? Sulayk al-Qasfani. The old Baba who lived Jumu'ah here before. One day he was telling me about Sulayk al-Qasfani. You know what he called Sulayk? He said, Siliki. May Allah preserve the Baba. He said, well, that is Siliki. That is Sulayk. Sulayk al-Qasfani. Sulayk al-Qasfani came into the masjid when the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam was making khutbah and sat down. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that is evidence that the Imam can talk to you. Say, Ya Sulayk, oh Sulayk, have you made 2 units of prayer? He said, no, Ya Rasulallah. He said, Qul fasalli, Qul farka rak'atayn. Stand up and make 2 units of prayer. Sulayk stood up and made 2 units of prayer. And then he turned to the rest of the people, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. إِذَا دَخَلَ أَحَدُكُمْ وَالْإِمَامُ يَخْطُبُ. When any of you comes in the masjid when the Imam is making khutbah, let him make 2 units of prayer. Is it compulsory or not? Some people say it was for making law. It taught Sulayk to do it, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You know the funny thing, brother? This hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. Hadith Abu Hurairah. How can it be for Sulayk alone? Sulayk himself reported it, Jabir ibn Abdullah reported it. Sulayk was addressed, radiyallahu anhu. After that, he turned to the rest of us and said, when any of you come and Sulayk came. So if you have your wudu situated and you go out and make wudu, you come back, you meet the Imam on khutbah. What should you do? You should make 2 units of prayer. If you don't do it, if I'm the one making khutbah, one line I'll be on stage. I will tell you, stand up. When we were younger than this in the university, we used to make khutbah for the school. The Imam traveled out at the time, so some of us were appointed to make khutbah. One of the persons, now professor, is out of the school, retired out of the university now. We were making the khutbah, he stood up to say, khutbah, stand, sit down. He sat down. The same thing if you come to the masjid and sit down. What will I tell you? Stand up. This is the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. Anabi la fijo. Abuyo. Anabi la fijo. It is not equal. So somebody can come after you and say, Papa, why are you so harsh? Anabi will be done. Yes, in the places where the Prophet was harsh, he can be harsh. When he was carrying the calf. When he made khutbah, we will discuss that when we are making Ad-Durar Al-Bahiyyah over Jumu'ah. Your voice should not be laughing. It should be talking like the commander giving a parade. Jumu'ah is not Ijoko Aweke. The people be laughing, laughter on Jumu'ah. When Allah has just saved us, He didn't destroy all of us. And you know what? The next thing is to start laughing. So there is no laughter on Jumu'ah. On Jumu'ah you will not see laughter. No laughter, no halqa laughter. No. On Jumu'ah. The Imams who make khutbah, inshallah, will come to Adab. We'll discuss this issue. What should be the solution of the sleeping during khutbah? We have not started talking about khutbah. Some said there are some ways of sitting that put on khutbah. All of these other issues are on khutbah. If you are sleeping on the day of Jumu'ah, stand up, go and sit in another place. It is sunnah. Say about the Jumu'ah, Jumu'ah, so on to today, lọ́jọ́ gbogbo mi, sunnah nabi. Ṣé ńlá kọ́ wa tó ká ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, alayhi salam. The messenger taught us to behave like that. Squat down here, you are feeling sleepy. Stand up, go and sit down in another place. I think that answers that question. There's a way we should not sit during khutbah, yes. What is that way? Ihtibar. How is that? To sit, to clasp your knees together. You use your bottom, both of them on the ground. You now bring your knees together and bring it towards your chest. Don't sit like that on the day of Jumu'ah. Yes, as Afal said, like this, don't sit like this on the day of Jumu'ah. It's prohibited. But there are issues under the issues of khutbah. I answered it because I don't know whether that person will be here next Friday and me to go. Let him know it. May Allah bring us here. Jazakallahu khairan. Jazakumullahu khairan. Man kana alayhi ghuslu al-janaba. Jazakallahu khairan. The Prophet used to do that himself, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Even if it means you are making khutbah, you should do that. The Imam making khutbah can do that. What I just did now with this point. Is a question on ghusl that if the individual gets salah, he makes his family to make ghusl. You know, if he would be in the state of janaba, come with me, brother. Man gets salah, you make your family to make ghusl. You, what will you go? You are going to ghusl too. And the day of Jumu'ah, there's another ghusl for the day of Jumu'ah. So the brother is asking, can these two ghusls be made with one ghusl? Make two. Ihtiyātan. By way of being precautionary. But I believe that the correct thing is that you must make two. So if you don't believe that you must make two, I still advise you, make two as a precaution. If you ask me, why do you believe that it makes? Because al-amal al-niyyah, the niyyah for the first ghusl is ghusl janaba. After you kasala, kasaltaha. After that one. This one is ghusl yawm al-jum'ah or ghusl yawm al-jum'ah. The intention is also different. And it says, وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. Every action has an intention. And you get the reward for what you intended. The first one, I want to get the reward of getting pure from ghusl. The second one, I want to make the intention of ghusl yawm al-jum'ah. Each of them will go for each of what you have intended. This is the position of Al-Imām Ibn Hazm. Particularly Shaykh Al-Albani Rahim. He was expensive in it in Tamam al-Minna. But there are those among the ulama who say one ghusl for the two of them will suffice. I say even if you want to take that to be correct, make two ghusl, take a madhab al-ishtiyati, take a precautionary position. Make two, it doesn't cost you anything. All it does is tap with water. That's all. Just pour water on the entirety of your body. For the two, for each of them, you've gone out of Uruja min al-Khilaf. Allahu Akbar. Alaykum salam. Go on.
My question is based on the first question.
Now,
someone that went out to perform on the first question.
The first question?
Yeah.
On what? On going out after
perform the ablution. Yeah, to perform the ablution.
Okay.
After performing the ablution, he or he wanted to remain on his feet. Can he walk gently to his place?
How?
He went out
of the masjid to pay back his wudu, to repair his wudu, to make another wudu.
Yeah.
He wants to come back to his original seat.
And the first question comes to the most.
How will he come back?
He wants to remain on his feet.
Yes, no problem. But how will he come back? Will he fly? If he can fly, no problem. Don't fly from that. He has a jet at least. How will he come back to that seat? Tell me. But do you know that it is possible? If you sit in row and your row is near the door, you can just stand up, go straight out, make your wudu, come back straight in and sit down. You will not climb anybody, you will not come in between any two persons. It's possible. It's the reason I'm asking. But if you have to climb the heads of people, please sit down where you are, so that you don't cause a problem for yourself. There is no particular reward for coming back to where you are. But there is a lot of prohibitions for you not to climb the heads of people. That should take precedence. Now, alaykum salam. Now,
what if at the time of going out, you have to clap through the people?
Now?
If at the time he was going out to go and perform ablution, he has to pass through the people.
If he's going out,
yes,
he can climb through them.
And there is no problem about that.
There is no blame. When it is prohibited, don't forget the text is when he's coming into the masjid to take a seat. When he's going out, he has haja, he has darura, he's going out to be al-mahdura. In kana mahdura. Alaykum salam. Can we use fine communication if I use my head to greet people on the day of Jumu'ah? Somebody is saying, Salaam alaikum. Start shaking the head. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prohibited us from greeting with signs. Whether outside Jumu'ah, anytime, don't make a sign greeting. It must be followed with a taslim. If you cannot now say that taslim, then don't do sign. In the north, there's a greeting of Turkey. You know how it is? You do like this. If you shake them, they will not shake you. I've seen it before. If you do this greeting sign of eminence, like this, if you stretch your hand to that person, he will not shake you. He either sees you as lower than him, so he will not shake you, or sees you as too big for him to shake. In the north, there are some people that respect is that you should not shake them. If you shake them, they will shake you. They will think that one man, where the kuya? He does not have kuya, does not have shame. He's stretching his hand to greet me. Even if you are older than that person, he will not greet you. So do this sunnah. Don't do sign greeting. There is no sign greeting in Islam, whether on khutbah or no khutbah, or Jumu'ah or no Jumu'ah. You are either able to say Salamu Alaikum or you are not able to say Salamu Alaikum. Or you say Salamu Alaikum and the person is not hearing you. What about combining the two? The hadith that Al-Imām Al-Nawawi mentions in Riyadh Al-Salihin, the hadith of Sha'r ibn Hawshab, combined with Raqam Sunan Abi Dawud. Go back to Riyadh Al-Salihin. Combining the tafsir with the symbol, with a gesture. So you find that Shaykh Al-Albani mentions it Da'if. So if you say something, Salamu Alaikum, many brothers don't answer. When I do something, Salamu Alaikum, he does not answer me, I smile. He is rejecting the sign. Yeah, because he can add the two. He tell me that that hadith is Da'if. Me, I know that the hadith is Hasan. Because Sha'r ibn Hawshab is Hasan al-Hadith. Even though Shaykh Al-Albani says that the hadith is Da'if, the correct thing is that that hadith is Da'if. It's reliable, you can work on it. So when I greet people and they don't answer me, I don't mind. You know there's reward for that too. Don't let, when you say tasbih to somebody who does not answer, don't be annoyed. The Prophet ﷺ said that Allah will raise an angel who will answer you. The hadith occurs in Al-Adab al-Mufrad. Go back and check it. You read somebody, Salamu Alaikum. You look at it. You know, some people even consider Salamu Alaikum as insult. They say, he does not want to lie down. In Iman, they abuse us. They say, I want Salamu Alaikum. That's what they call us. If they see somebody Sunni, they say Salam Alaikum. They say you are saying Salam Alaikum because you don't want to lie down. If you tell him Salam Alaikum, if he does not answer, you think he has not heard, repeat your Assalamu Alaikum, your tasbih. Allah will appoint an angel near him who will be replying you Alaikum Salam wa Alaikum Salam. How is that? So don't be disturbed with the Salamu Alaikum. To start, Salamu Alaikum. Know that you are gaining when you make, each time you make that tasbih. You don't use at all. Tasbih, Assalamu Alaikum, is not an expression of loss. There is no loss inside it. It is gain. You win in all situations. Win-win. May Allah make us people who win and gain. Now, Salam, that has to do with Istiqbal al-Qibla. Facing the Qibla, Abi. What is the question? Imam faces a particular direction for the Salat. The followers are facing another direction. It can be in two ways. They can face a direction that is completely off his own direction. They can face a direction that is absolutely in the same direction with him. Which one do you mean? For example, Imam is facing my back and I'm turning my back. You know we are not facing the same direction. Or Imam is facing behind me as I sit and those others are facing like this. You know that's off it. But the Imam is facing in the direction of the Qibla and the people are only a bit away from him. They are not different. Because the Qibla is not a point. The Qibla is a direction. All these points. And Allah will tell you to face exactly the Kaaba. Or not. فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمُ الْكَعْبَةِ فَوَلُّوا وُجُوهَكُمْ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ Or not. The direction of. So, I always use Ede as an example. Let's use Ede. If someone says people on Ede, anything. So if you face this direction, you are facing on Ede. You know, it cannot be like this. Have you brothers should relax. We are being proper. It's not the direction of all day here. It can be off a little bit. Because the compass will tell you the point of the Kaaba itself. And the Qibla is a direction. Abu Hurairah reported it, radiyallahu anhu, that he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, Ma bayna al-mashriqi wal-maghribi Qibla. So the Qibla is a direction, it's a plane. It's not a point. If you are an architect, you understand it better. Oh, you are an engineer. There's a difference between a plane and a point. So if you treat Qibla as a point, you'll be fighting everybody. So treat and understand that the Qibla is what? A plane. If you want to face a plane, you have until you are 45 degrees away. Otherwise, you still be facing the same plane. Am I correct? Abu Abdullah. If you are not 45 degrees away, you can still be facing the plane. So there may be slight light within the range, inshallah. We should take this as the last question for today. Inshallah. Oh, during the Jumu'ah, when the Imam keeps silent and bends down, are we going to make dua or not? We'll address it when we are talking about the best time. But the correct is that don't make dua. Make your dua between Abdur and Maghrib. If someone says salam while praying, how should we answer? You point down your palm, you raise your palm, the inside of your palm will be on the ground, the back of your palm will be up. That is what is salam, it is salam. This is Muslim. He says, Salamu alaikum. What have you said? Wa alaikum assalam. Somebody says, Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum. You turn your palm to the ground and the back of your palm will face up. The hadith occurs in Sunan Abi Dawud from the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas. What is the ruling of talking or answering taslim while making wudu? It is allowed. You can be making wudu and be talking. That's hadith of Uthman ibn Affan, also in Sunan Abi Dawud. I think we can stop here, brother. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.